And I believe we are recording, so let's get back into the how to make an easy horde base walkthrough. This is day 2. If you don't know, this is offensive in England, in Britain, and a lot of, ex-British colonies. So, 2. It's kind of their equivalent of flipping a bird. I believe the story is that it had something to do with archers, but that's actually not true. But anyway, let's get back into this. We were up on the roof. There's the white disappearing. We got some zombies wandering around. I believe I was heading north. Yeah, I was following this road over here to the north. And I'm going to keep doing that because I'm trying to get to a town. Now, you don't have to do that. You can play this game, and I'll show you the perks right quick once I can find someplace where I can kind of hang out. Let me go ahead and kind of check this place out a little bit. I think I recognize it, but I can get up on the roof. That's a working workbench. Get up on another roof just to have a little bit of safety while I explain what I was going to tell you about for different play styles. Now, if you would like to play this without focusing on looting buildings, being close to a town, you can use perks like Animal Tracker, which helps you track down animals, makes it a lot easier to find them and hunt them, so you don't have to worry about food as often. Then you can also use the Huntsman, which lets you harvest more from animals and whatnot. And then living off the land lets you farm easier. Like the first level, you get 2 items when you cut down a plant or something instead of just 1. At level 3, you get 3 items every time you harvest, which is, if that's what you want to do, then you can do that. You can play this game as kind of like a hunter sort of a thing, instead of a looter. The thing about that is that you will not have as easy of a time getting your hands on gear. You can make stuff, certain things, like armor. You can get the armor perks, and you'll be able to make armor pretty easily. And some of the weapons you won't have trouble making, melee stuff, maybe. But when it comes to guns and whatnot, you'll have a lot more trouble finding if you don't go looting regularly. And the thing about Horde Night, you can't hide. It used to be different. You used to actually be able to hide away from the hordes and not have to deal with them. But they have changed the game so that that's not possible. Something I personally don't agree with. I think instead of just making it so that the zombies have super duper tracking senses and always know where you are on a Horde night, I think they should just make it so that on Horde nights, use like an MMO strategy. You make the Horde Knights give extra experience. The zombies on Horde Night give extra experience from kills and drop better and more loot from the loot bags. And so that's the incentive to face off with the hordes instead of hiding someplace. But I also think that if somebody would rather not deal with the Horde, because it is a lot of danger. If you're playing permadeath, the most likely time that you're going to die is either looting and getting stuck someplace and getting surrounded, which is probably the way you die the most, or Horde nights, because you just get overwhelmed, overrun, and devastated. Sometimes it can happen if you're not prepped for it. I'm wondering if there was a nice loot place here somewhere. And of course, this is what I'm talking about. See, there's only a couple of them. Now there's more backing me into a dead corner. Damn it. Hyper Blaster. Okay. That's stuff from a mod, obviously. Don't worry about that for now. I'm working with the dinosaurs. The other thing is that if you start having zombies that are just being a pain in the ass because they're swarming you like that, and it's, pardon me, it's just getting to the point where it's being more of an annoyance than, you know, and you don't want to deal with it, then don't. You don't have to. Oh, great. Fork the road. This is a T-Junction, man. And if you ever watch Critical Role, you'll know what I'm talking about. I think I'm going to go ahead and go east at this point. So if you are playing, and this is just a basic tip, you want to find a town, because you don't want to play the Wild Man style of gameplay. You actually want to do looting and stuff. Find a road and follow it if you're out in the boonies someplace. Usually, following a road will take you someplace. Go to hell. You too. This is why I like to stay mobile and not load up on heavy armor. Well, that is a mountain right there. Oh, goody. There's just a little pack of them right there. Anyway, what I was saying, I don't think I completely finished my thought about a Horde night. So yeah, I think they should give you incentives to go ahead and fight the zombies on Horde night, but not force you to do it. Basically where I was going with that. But they decided that they would rather make the zombies have supernatural... I mean, I know it's already supernatural. They're zombies, which are physically impossible. But, you know, there's kind of, to me, a rule in fiction that you get kind of one break from reality that doesn't necessarily need an explanation, but after that, you need to actually explain when things are different. So zombies existing, that's your break from reality. Your one break from reality that is your freebie. Zombies that have supernatural or super radar powers and can find you whether you're in a skyscraper 100 floors up or clear down at bedrock 50, 100, whatever blocks down that is. No matter what, that's silly. Also, the zombies have other YouTuber that does 7 Days to Die. The way he puts it is probably my favorite. They all have engineering degrees, because if you try to build a base that they can't get at you with, and this isn't just on Horde Night, it's just in general, the zombies all have a supernaturally accurate ability to undermine your base, where you're, home, whatever you're calling it, and bring it down around you if you don't give them a path to. I mean, it's kind of silly, kind of funny, but it's also really stupid. Because to me, that takes away player agency. You know, the ability of the player to decide how they want to play. You know, you give the players options. Oh, that's the snow biome. I don't want to deal with that. This is a small town, but this might work out. Problem is, I'm not seeing any buildings I would like to use for what I'm going to show you to do. I would like something that's a business. And this is all residential. Very small block of residential. Sorry, this is not particularly entertaining, I know. I'm not familiar with Navigating. Is this the same way I was going before? I just went back around. Ansel Adams River. Okay. The Navigating map is kind of the only one they've made that I think it's all handcrafted, which is why you have things like rivers and bridges. The random generated ones, and it's understandable, random generated maps are much harder to do. But it would still be neat if they could get features like rivers and bridges and stuff like that to show up in them. Oh, there's got to be a town somewhere in this map. Yeah, the base build that I want to show you, I need a business, someplace that already has a foundation and walls. Is usually if you use a randomly generated map, you'll start closer to towns and cities. Because with the randomly generated maps, the traders all start next to a town or a city. So when you get that first quest to go to see a trader, you will go to a town or city right from the get-go. I thought I'd use Navigating because it's supposed to be like the starter map, but it seems like it was a mistake because I have no idea where anything is. I've never used this map, and absolutely nothing seems to be in it. I know there are towns in this map, I just have no idea where they are. Crossing the river again. I keep following this road. I should find one eventually. It's just not very entertaining gameplay for me or for you to watch. Punching zombies in the face is entertaining, at least a little bit. Wow, speed limit of 25. And out on a road. Of course, I don't think I'd want to take that particular incline right there at a very high rate. Now, see, this is more like what I'm talking about. This would be halfway decent. It's like a hardware store sort of a place, but again, I'm not seeing like a town here, just one building. I want to get to a town because that's really my play style, and I think this might be the town up here. That's like a welcome to something like Dyersville. Okay, this works. Yay, finally a damn town. Ooh, that's a good location to get building supplies. Have to hit that one up after I find a good spot to build. How much cobble do we have? Cobblestone. 849 is not bad. Could use some more. That would be a screamer. A randomly spawned in screamer. Which they don't seem to call in screamer hordes. So their role, they're supposed to be like a scout. Oh, she's down there. No. Shovel. These pallets of stone bricks. This is probably the best place to get stone in the game. Don't really need it right now, but it's nice to have some. There should be a lot more cobblestone. Pallets down here. At least a few more. Now the design I'm going to show you is not, you know, a build from scratch kind of base, which should be obvious. Should be obvious already. I'm just stating that in case. I'm not assuming. Oh, that's kind of a nice line. Okay, and there's more in there, but we don't need all of it. This is nice to pick up some extra. That actually isn't a bad spot right there, but I would like something a little bit flatter. Wow, what a town. It's like one damn street. Surely there's more to it than that. Maybe not. I am having absolutely no luck whatsoever with this. There's a pop of pills. It's a full-size factory, though, isn't it? Of course it is. So this is a town that has no retail in it, apparently. Interesting. No luck at all. This is annoying, because this is supposed to be a relatively quick and easy couple of videos sort of a thing. Just show you, like, oh yeah, a little walkthrough. Build an easy base. Not that hard, it's an easy base. Get you through your first Horde night or two. Null Sheen. Yeah. Everything has to be a pain in the ass. Alright, fuck it, I'm gonna use this garage. Even though it's all wood. That is not what I do. That's wood. That one's wood. That's wood. It's all wood. I'm a bit angry. Alright. This has got stone. It's not ideal, but it'll work. Alright, so what we're going to want to do is throw down a land claim, because we're going to be claiming this area for now. Then clear it out. At least of the general warfare, probably go ahead and grab any good loot that we can find in here, worry about the rest later. We're going to occupy this location for the time being, so I can actually show you how to make an easy base. Fall down and die. Try not to let yourself get cornered. Like I said earlier, that is the way that you'll die the most. Or you're most likely to die. Yeah. Ideal. Face in. Take your damn head off. And they're breaking shit. Of course they're breaking shit. Let's heat it up. Somebody stepped on a line. There's a whole bunch of them up there. I was hoping to see if I had a Walkthough cocktail. I'll take it. I saw more than that. Oh. 3. But that's okay. If you'll recall, or if you watched the first episode, you probably would remember that, or hopefully would remember me pointing out that it's a good idea to divide and conquer the zombies as much as you possibly can. Okay, here's our good loot. We've got a munitions crate, a loot box over there, a chest, and a shotgun messiah box, so that's not terrible. A glass baseball bat. First time I saw that from the mod, I was like, a baseball bat made of glass? You only get one hit with it, right? But no, it's a little bit more vicious than that. It is a bat with glass in it. And it's actually a really good weapon. Alright, so kind of come down here and drop down. So this actually is not a horrible location, but it's not optimal either. But what we're going to need right now to start building our base, I guess we're not doing too bad on time. We're going to need quite a bit of wood, because we're going to be upgrading wood blocks to some cobblestone blocks. Flagstone, actually. Well, cobblestone. Stone. Going from wood to stone. We have a couple of trees in here. I also need to go ahead and put my bedroll down. No, I was going to go ahead and use that for a bit. The nooks are good, but that was a destroyed workbench, but that's okay. Ball bats are always good weapons. I'm going to have to do some changes to the mod so that it's not as easy to get some of these, because they drop too easy into the pursuit. I'm going to have to change that. But for now, we'll just cope. So the question is, how do I want to set this up? Because we have a not too bad potential spot right here, but it still leaves a lot to be desired because it's very open. The same goes for this. This is not ideal because what I wanted to show you is how to build an easy base on top of a building, which is probably the best and easiest way to do it, especially when you're first starting. But since I can't seem to find any good brick buildings, I could use this, but I'd have to take the entire top floor off, because that's all wood. Or I'd have to upgrade the whole thing, which is not ideal. So I think what I'm going to do is take advantage of this decline right here and these stairs. Because this means we already have kind of a choke point we can use for a Horde base. Let's see, how much wood do we have? 294 is nowhere near enough for what I'm going to be doing, so I'm going to go ahead and get those crafting. Okay. Chop down some more trees right quick. While that's crafting up, I really need to take some painkiller or something. Again, if you're not aware, painkillers in real life actually dehydrate you. So when you take painkillers in the game, you need fluids. They can also stop you up really, really bad. A little random factoid for you. And of course it needs repairs. Didn't do that. Scrap those. Go ahead and plant the seeds here, because this way you will have renewed trees after a couple of days. Because the trees in this game grow very, very fast. Where'd the axe go? Can you use this? Not really. Yes, it is a goofy looking weapon. Or a badass weapon. I suppose it depends on your point of view. I think it looks a bit goofy. What the hell is this? Alrighty then. It's like a laser gun. We have a trader 556.5 meters away, because when you complete the... Well, originally it was kill 50 zombies, but I changed it to 50 because 10 was too easy for some of the stuff that you can get from those quests. I have my own kind of a sense of fair play. Talking over here, giant businessman fucker. Okay, so when you're making your first Horde base, your goal is going to be you want to get up somewhere high because of the pathing of the zombies. This is just the easiest, most reliable way to deal with them. I don't know if there's clearance. Yeah, there's actually enough clearance to get through here quite easily. See, the question is, how do I want to... Okay, I have an idea. And the thing you have to do to make your easy Horde base is you have to take advantage of something that's already there. A POI, a location that is already in the game. Now, the easiest ones to use, as I already said, would be a business like a gas station or something that has a flat roof. Because then you can just build on top of it and use its walls as your support. Because the businesses generally will already have stone or even concrete walls, which saves you a shitload of resources to get that height to start with. Because even right here, this isn't optimal, but like I said, just this right here, how many blocks is this? depending on how I make this. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, currently up to 6 right there. So this is already 6 blocks high, and I'm just using, you know, the building. Is this? I think this is actually wood. Yeah. Nope. That it was stone. Oh, I found some concrete mix. I forgot about that. Okay. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have to get rid of that ledge right there, so I have this flush against the wall. I'm going to go ahead and build kind of a murder hole sort of a thing. Okay, so how this is going to work? Well, I'm just going to go ahead and start building out this initial frame right here. And it's nighttime, which is not optimal, but fuck it. And their structural integrity is a thing in this game, so you do need to be aware of whether or not something would actually stand. I mean, it isn't super duper realistic necessarily, because you can sometimes get away with doing shit that you definitely couldn't in real life, but it is still something you have to be careful of. And a hammer right now would be lovely, but we use what we have. That's why this is a walkthrough. And this is stuff, even with the mods, this is all stuff that you would easily be able to get in your first day or two. Hopefully. If not 2 days, then maybe 3 or 4. If you're using the regular default settings of 7 days till Horde Night, you've got a whole week to do this. You can play around and loot and learn everything else you'll need to learn in the meantime, but we're going to assume that Horde Night can be at any time, because I do have it set to between 4 and 8 days randomly, so it could be... Of course, you're just gonna magically come up behind me without making any goddamn noise at all. Not growl until you're right on me. I don't know what it is about this game. It's very fun, but it can also be incredibly aggravating. But apparently they think that the biggest thing they need to change with the game is the graphics. That's what's holding them back. It isn't the often shitty hitboxes, the way that it often makes you feel like the game's just fucking you over. Nope, it's nothing like that. It's the stripper zombie not having jiggle physics and Trader Jed not having big enough tits. That's what's holding them back. Great, now I need more wood. Parkour. great, there's a white. Normally I would not take this son of a bitch on at all, but this bat gives me a little bit more confidence. Why are you doing that instead of just hopping up there, idiot? See, this is one of the things that I'm talking about that is just so goddamn frustrating with the zombies. They're smart enough that if they couldn't get to me if I had not made this where they should be able to get to me, they would tear all this shit down to make this collapse underneath me. But they're so stupid that for some reason that motherfucker right there couldn't figure out to jump up on this and come after me. And this idiot over here is for some reason being an idiot. There's just things about the way they've made this game that are just so fucking stupid. And of course, I'm hungry because they have the resource needs. Food and water jacked way the hell up, and you can't do anything without having to eat and drink constantly. And I've actually used mods to improve the amount of food rating you get from canned food, because before you had to eat like 10 cans of Sham, their spoof version of Spam. You had to eat like 10 cans in a day for it to really do anything. And I don't know about you, but I've eaten Spam before, fried, and 1 can is a lot. I know it's a game, but sometimes you just gotta say, this makes no fucking sense. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on, even though it's heavy, because why the hell not? Could use some proper pants. But whatever. We will make do. For some reason, Fool just could not figure out how to jump up on that. Alright then. Whatever. Idiot zombies. Alright, I don't have enough wood to upgrade a damn thing at this point. So, I don't have to cover this up necessarily, but they could potentially get it into their idiot genius zombie brains to try. Actually, I don't want them coming up both sides. To try and drop down on me, so I might want to go ahead and do something about that later. For now, no, not there. There we go. I'm gonna go with a design that's a simple design that's called the hatch hallway. I hate these fences that have like half blocks on them. It's so annoying. And of course it is massive amounts of hit points to try and get rid of this. Well, hopefully they can path through that. Or just to ignore, or to avoid that if there's a potential issue, I'm going to go ahead and do that. There we go. So I won't be able to complete this framing entirely until I can get some more wood. How much cobblestone do we have left? Plenty. it takes 10 cobblestone to upgrade 1 wood block, all the way up to cobblestone, which is not necessarily the most efficient way to do it, really, because you can make flagstone blocks first and then upgrade those. The problem is that every flagstone block takes 4 cobblestone. So, I mean, right now I could make like 10, 11 of them and it wouldn't cut too deeply in it, but it takes 10 cobblestone, whether you're starting with a wood block or a flagstone block, to upgrade it all the way into the cobblestone block, or the stone, you know, this, like the brick. So you either eat into your cobblestone reserves making the flagstone blocks, put my hands up here so you can see what I'm doing with them, or you start with wood and just upgrade them to the stone with cobblestone, and not eat into your reserves. So you're using 2 resources that way, but it means your cobblestone goes a lot farther. So there's arguments to be made for both approaches. Let's go ahead and do one more layer here. And about the roof. Because that's the thing. If they decide that the easiest way to get to me is to go through the building and to get up on the roof and then drop down, that's what they'll do. So the only way to ensure they don't do that, it really is to make a frame, or a roof. I didn't quite finish this. Actually, I need to put that there, take out those. Go ahead and make a wall here. Alright, that seems to be, I think that's a complete wall. We want to go ahead and put, like, battlements up here so that it don't just fall right off, but we have some windows. So, this is starting to come together. You can see the framework. Hopefully, morning is coming relatively quickly. I just need to cut down a few trees and we can get this show on the road. And luckily we're in the pine forest biome, so there are plenty of trees around. Right over there, there's a whole bunch of them. Be a little bit brave and head off before morning actually hits, just because I don't want you to have to sit through nothing any more than you already have, which has been too much. Too much traveling, not enough building of a damn easy base that I tried to show you. And there's the morning chime. Tree stumps are good because you can get honey from them, which is a natural antibiotic that you can use to get rid of infection. You won't always get it, but you can get it. There are 3 types, I believe, 3 types of antibiotics. There's honey, there's the antibiotics, like pill version, which cures infection 25%, honey will cure up to 5%, and then there's herbal antibiotics that I think is 10% or 12%. As you get further into the game, the infection becomes less of an issue, because you'll find yourself accumulating antibiotics and honey and the herbal antibiotics. You'll accumulate them over gameplay, but early game, getting infected can be a real problem, because if you don't find anything to cure the infection, it will kill you in like 4 days or something. So if you get infected, you can't just ignore it. You have to go looting and prioritize things that will give you medicine. Because that's where you're most likely to find medicine. Or go out searching for tree stumps and try to get yourself some honey. Because even if it gets over 5%, the honey will knock it down by that 5%, so that will give you more time. And getting hit by zombies makes it go up faster, so avoid combat if you're infected as much as possible. Much wood have I got now? Oh, that's probably way more than enough, but one more tree just to make sure. But you can see why I'm saying that this is an easy base, because, you know, this is only day 3, the start of day 3. We've only gone through 2 days here, really. And yesterday we didn't accomplish a whole lot of anything because we had to roam around trying to find a spot. Okay, so let's go ahead and use a frame here to get up on top. Oh no, let's do the supports first. That would be smart. But, you know, in general, how much effort have I really put in, we really put into this so far? Not a huge amount. Mostly it's just been finding a place. You know, if you use a randomly generated map, like I said before, you're probably going to start right next to, or relatively close to a town, so you won't have to spend all that time that I did trying to find a town to start. To build, a good place to build. Is there really somebody inside? Or something? Where the hell are they at? When zombies die in the morning, you might find loot bags that have dropped around. Some people ignore them. I don't. It's a resource. I'm not gonna... give up a potential resource. Huh. didn't know that was there, so that's a thing. It's a treasure map, which is really nice to have. Right, so for some reason, instead of just coming along here, it was a better idea to break into the building. Radio. Also, building stuff gives you a whole lot of experience, so base building is probably the thing that'll give you more experience than anything else in the game early on. Let's get back to our easy Horde base build. Probably over time what I would do is I would either go ahead and set up a living base next door or something, or maybe just on the other side of this building, or I would probably bust through this wall eventually and just kind of fortify the inside as I, expand it through the rest of the building as I need it. But for now, I'm not going to worry about this. I'm going to use this particular game save for all of these base builds videos I'm wanting to do. So, kind of a contiguous thing. And somebody, whoever can watch from beginning to end exactly how I got to where I am for every particular base design I'm going to show you. Because I'll probably go ahead and do this as kind of a playthrough, walkthrough sort of thing. Bit of a hybrid. So you can really see how I do stuff. And again, you don't have to do things the same way. I'm just trying to show you some things that you can do, give you some tips that'll help. And, I don't like to edit. I prefer real-time videos personally. I like watching people stream videos. I prefer watching unedited gameplay. So that's what I tend to do. I know a lot of people would prefer faster cuts, faster editing, but I don't have ADHD. So. And if you do, I'm not trying to say that that's, oh, you're a horrible person because you don't have a very good attention span. I'm just saying that, that's not me. I like contiguous play. So that's what I do. You can always fast forward, just jump ahead a bit to when I'm more done. Play yakety sax and speed the video up. In the YouTube options, you can put it at like 2 or 3 times speed, faster or something. The Benny Hill music, if you don't know what yakety sax is. That's the proper name of the song. And for those of you who don't know what Benny Hill was, it was a comedy show from England, I believe it was England, that was mostly just Benny Hill, kind of chubby, older, comedic guy chasing around young women in bikinis, scantily clad women in general, and The setup was always that something would happen, and then the music's yakety sax would start playing, the footage would like double speed or something, and they'd all be chasing each other around and acting psycho with that music playing. Look up a clip. Look up some clips of Benny Hill. It was never really my cup of tea, but it's iconic. Alright, now we've got our roof. This is starting to come together. We've got most of the inside taken care of. No, we got the whole inside taken care of. There's just a bit on the outside underneath here that needs to be finished up. And I think just for security, I'm going to go ahead and double this up. Probably don't have to, but I would rather be safe than sorry in this case. And I forgot to put the murder hole in, but that's alright. It's probably better to have done it this way anyway. I need to finish this part. So, I want to put that maybe right here. No. Screw it, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I don't think I left myself enough room to do that. Maybe right here would work. See if I can get away with putting a... No, I think that's where the pillar is, isn't it? Maybe not. Nope, it's right there. That's actually perfect for what I was thinking of doing. Do I have some iron? Not much. Nowhere near enough, so I'm going to have to go find some iron to get this all kicked off properly, but have enough now to make a couple of hatches. Actually, we have plenty of wood, so let's make some wood hatches. That will get the job done. I need that many. Make 6 of them. And I'll show you what the design is supposed to do. And this is completely just on the fly. This is the easiest way you're ever going to have to make a Horde base. Really. There are designs that you can use, and there's already plenty of videos that you can look at for making a freestanding base that's, you know, just you build it from the ground up yourself. But this will give you more height. Doing something like this will give you more height, more stability often. It'll generally be easier on you and more secure, more safe than anything that you can build yourself easily and quickly. And also be a little more satisfying, because I think using the terrain, buildings that are already there, that sort of thing, using all of that to your advantage is a bit more satisfying in some ways than just copying what other people do. There we go. Okay, so now that looks like a very precarious hole that's just right there, which is why we go ahead and put a couple of hatches here. And don't necessarily need to use 2 of them, but this way the chances of accidentally falling down there are very slim. But that gives us a murder hole down to the bottom. And then we want the hinges. It should, no, this way. No. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that works just fine. Either way will do the job. Alright, now, one of those pro move things, if you're not aware, if you hold down R when you're on a block like this, not all of them have this menu yet, but most of them do. You can choose different shapes. This is the one I like to use for this particular part of a build, which is you need to make sure the zombies can't just pile up and get on your roof too easily. In this case, it doesn't really matter. Oh, hell, I'm already out of wood again. Bollocks. But it doesn't really matter that much, because they should, even if they get on the roof, decide that it's easier to go back down and around to get through rather than try to break through the roof. They should. But there is another way we can ensure that they will prefer to go around. May not be enough, but we'll make do for the moment. There's plenty of trees around. And of course, I'm super hungry again. Oops. Let's go ahead and consume about 3 meals worth of calories here, all in one go, because you have the metabolism of a shrew. There you go. A killer shrew. Dun dun dun. Go back to that. Quite high enough. Yeah. You want to ensure that they will not, are more likely, well, are a lot less likely to try to break through, then the only way to do it is to double up. Because essentially what the zombies do with their super engineering degrees is that they target the weakest point possible to get to you. So if they decide that going through the roof is the quickest way, and that generally means, oh, now we are out of cobblestone, which is a problem, because we are not done yet. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up because it's already over an hour long. But you see the point, the gist of this design. The zombies will come through here, they will come through the building, which is fine for now. We don't need the building necessarily at the moment. The only thing we need to worry about really is our claim block, which should be out of the way for the moment, and this. We can go ahead and pick this up now, and because this is temporarily where we would be living, probably, we can just take it and plop it down over here someplace. And now we have a protected area. Have to duck to get through there because this takes up just enough room that you can't get through a 2-block high space, because reasons. But again, the idea and what probably would want to do, not probably, definitely would want to do, and of course because there's this tiny block with as much hit points as the goddamn wall, this won't work the way I want it to. So, fuck it, I'm going to do this instead. Yeah, sure. Hell with it. And we can improve on that all later. We have the zombies. They can jump up and get up on this walkway here. And then we've got some reinforced hatches here that we can throw up. I mean, that one should be facing the other way, but it doesn't matter, really. And we can also go ahead, and another thing you can do with that menu is change where they are, so we can go ahead and put another one right there. So we have some layers of security here. And what did it cost us resource-wise? About 800, 900 cobblestone, which is not hard to get, especially if you can source a few hundred from a trader. But even then, you get 35 per pallet, blue pallet that you find, and they are all over the place. Plus, again, if you are unaware of this particular factoid, how much? Doesn't matter, I should have enough, I can make some. Clay soil and rock makes cobblestone. So, break down some rocks and dig up some soil and you can have all the cobblestone you'll ever want. It is the easiest, toughest material that you can get. Because the next upgrade is cement, and that can be a pain in the ass to get your hands on. And now I don't have any more wood. But you do have to cut down some trees and get yourself some cobblestone. But both, depending on your biome, but as long as you're somewhere where you can cut down a bunch of trees and dig up a bunch of clay soil and break down stones, which, again, like right here, right across the way, boulder. Let's look at the, low level. I've thrown like 1 point in there. I'll throw 1 point in mother lode just to get this at the best you can have at first level, or lower levels. $21 stone off of 1 boulder right here. So altogether, let's see how much we get just off of this node of stone right here. Stone node. 47 so far. Looks like it's going to be 60-some stone. It's going to be better than that. 73 stone, so... Okay, and now let's go ahead and do some digging. We're getting 4, 8, 11... 26 clay off of every block we dig up. So we match our stone in 3 blocks, essentially. And find where that is. Make another 70 cobblestone. Just like that. That damn easy. And like I've shown you, just wandering around, you can find those blue pallets that give you 35 cobblestone everywhere. So yeah. Easy resources to get your hands on. Then all you need to do is you find a roof, you find something like this, some place where you can get a bit of a vantage point, you can get a bit high off the ground. You know, and this isn't very high up. There are other ways I could have built this. I could have built it facing that direction so that the zombies would have to let's see. But we can actually go ahead and make something like this. Just alter the design a bit. Instead of making this their path up, we block off this area so they can't get through easily, which isn't necessarily a good thing to do. Not completely block them off, so now they can get through there. But the only way they can get up here now, really, that's going to be effective is they're going to have to go around this way. Now again, that's not the best way to do it, because you don't want to block their path completely. I'm trying to think of the best way to set this up. And here comes some assholes right now that'll help us test this out. Yeah, I hear you. I see. For some reason that will fit evenly on the ground there, but these will not. Sure, it makes loads of sense. There, I went ahead and gave them a path up here. We can throw up those. And voila, the fucker's gonna come right to here and start hitting this. And I can just bonk him in the head. The other ones went all the way around to the door, but they're going to path directly into where I want them. And this is how you make a horde base. The whole point is you put the zombies where you want them by knowing that their pathing is going to lead them. And this one is too stupid to go around. But again, the idea of what I was trying to think of how to do before these guys showed up would be to block off this section so that they can't fall down on this side, only on this side, and then make it so where they have to kind of path up only from down here, but I'm not sure how I would pull that off. Right at the moment. See, the way you could do it, though, is that you'd have to block off this, and they cannot jump very high, so for the most part, 2 blocks will cover your ass. So that right there, building on a bit of a wall right there would cover it. So now, if I go ahead and pull that up, The only way to get to me is through down there or coming through this wall, which is what they would try to do, a lot of them. So it would probably be a good idea to, you know, over time, this isn't something you'd have to do immediately. This is like down the road sort of stuff, just to keep things rolling. And now I'm out of wood frames too. But the idea here for your upgrading at this point would be block off this portion over here, the wall here, double up this wall so they don't see it as a viable option for getting to you. Make sure that this is nice and thick right here. You'd probably want to double this up or even triple it up, so that they don't think coming through here and busting through this is a viable option. You want them, you know, over time, and you'd probably have to go in the house up here in this area and fortify these walls here as well, because if they, again, if the AI decides that the quickest viable path to you is coming through this wall right here, that's what they're going to do. So going ahead and taking out that frame right there and putting more brickwork there and then fortifying it on the inside would be a necessity. And then what you'd want to do, once you have everything nice and fortified, nice thick walls that they're going to not see as a viable path to you, the only path that they're going to really see as being a good way to get to you, you know, the fastest, easiest way, is going around and down up these steps. You know, they're going to want to come through here. They'll come through this way, and the AI might decide, oh, but this isn't a fast way to get to them, so I'm going to come up here. And then probably what I'd do is tear up all this stuff so I can have flat surface to work with. Again, I don't understand why some of these act as flat surface and the other ones don't, but whatever. Game logic. And probably lead them down a path along here. I'd probably, yeah, kind of bring them into this area right over here, and then kind of force them. See, the problem is that you don't want to block their path up here, so it'd be possible to put like maybe another, you know, some, like right here. See, what can we get away with? Well, what's the closest? See, now that's going to block their heads. That would block their heads, so it would have to be there. So you'd kind of lead them on a merry chase and make them maze around, kind of, sort of, well, not a maze path, but instead of coming straight at you necessarily, of course you could do it like this, and build your wall up, get it maybe 2 or 3 high even, and then have them come down like right over here, and you know, this would all be blocked off and nice and thick, so you might put like a step in, a couple of steps so that they can get up here and come this way towards you, and you know, you'd complete the whole path. And then they'd come over here, and then again you have these frames here, or you might even take out these frames if you get your hands on a sledge turret, which are lovely to have, and put one over here and then block out the rest so they can't get through. And you could actually just leave some frames here so that you could decide what you wanted to do, because for the most part they would ignore this stuff or only try to break it if they get pissed off. But the idea is that you want to keep knocking them down here, so that once they come up that way, if you don't kill them outright, they should fall down here, and then they'll have to path all the way back up and around to get to you. And then bonk, you knock them back down, and they have to do it all over again. So that helps keep the numbers thinned out. Plus, the time it'll take them to get to you will help thin them out and make it more manageable. Plus, because hopefully you'd have to get rid of that car, otherwise it could blow up and take out your support. Probably not, but possibly. Because you have the murder hole down here, you could actually build it up another wall so that they have to path like right around here and go through this way so they'll always be going through the murder hole area. And, you know, you'd be standing behind your hatches, swinging bats, shooting guns, and then you might put like an electric fence down there later on, and when you might say, oh, there's a whole bunch of them caught up on the electric fence, Molotov cocktail or a bomb or something, boom, close it up so you don't fall, bang, 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 bang. And there is kind of an easy-ish Horde base that you could set up pretty much anywhere. You know, it's just a matter of taking advantage of what's already there. That is the easiest way to build your base. Your first go-to first couple of Horde night base. This isn't necessarily a base you'd want to stay in for the whole game because it is a bit precarious and ramshackle, as you might say, but it actually is fairly secure. And as I've already shown you, there's plenty of ways you could upgrade this over the course of gameplay to be far more secure and dangerous to the zombies. But to start with, this is the sort of thing you want to build, a bunker. A bunker in a hatch hallway is your best bet, and put it on a roof. Put it on a roof and give the zombies a way to get up to you with some steps. You know, just build some steps out of frames and cobblestone so they can get to you. Build yourself a little hatch corridor here, and you're going to be fine for your first couple of Horde nights. Maybe even your first 3 or 4, depending on your settings. So, this has been a longer video than I expected it to be, or intended it to be, but that's okay, I think. So, there you have it. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. You know, an actual walkthrough of what to do and, you know, kind of options you can have. And I'm probably going to go ahead and, you know, I was going to do this as one continuous playthrough, but I think I'm going to start over for the next base I want to show you. And then I'll pick up from there and do it as a continuous playthrough / walkthrough how-to Horde base thing. But again, thank you very much for watching once again. Please like the video, subscribe, leave comments, and share the video because it helps the channel grow and helps the videos get seen. That's just how YouTube works. And have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye. And once again, don't do that.